Some signs of sensory processing disorder that both of my kids experience, but I didn't realize until they were older. So my oldest that has severe autism, the first things that any of the professionals, therapists that she worked with noticed were sensory seeking behaviors. I didn't know anything about sensory processing disorder at the time. They were the first people that introduced me to what she was actually doing with her behaviors. This was in early interventions. But with both of my children, they had what I thought was horrible colic. I'm telling you, both of my kids would cry and cry and cry. And I would do everything under the sun to try and comfort them, including I was trying to keep things out of my diet because I was nursing. It just seemed like no matter where I went, what I did, what I tried, they would always cry. Of course, everybody tries to give you advice, and you don't really know what's going on because they can't tell you. So everybody just assumes that they have colic or it's something in your breast milk. It wasn't until my second born probably cried even more than my firstborn as a baby, and is still crying and having very intense tantrums at times, and she's almost 4 years old. We always had to travel a lot because of my oldest daughter's therapy. So when my second born was a baby, she would cry no matter where we would go, how comforted I made her feel in the stores, in the car, at the park. It didn't matter. It seemed like until she got old enough to be able to express herself, there was crying most of the day, and I could never figure out what was wrong. So when my second born got a little older, every single time we got in the car, once she could talk, the buckles are tight. My back tickles. I have itches on my back. Mom, the buckle. It was just always the buckles were tight. I can't take this. I don't want to be stuck in my seat. The way things smelled, the way things tasted, everything was so overwhelming to her. The way materials felt. Now, I'm certain my firstborn was also feeling these things, but she's nonverbal and couldn't tell me. Eventually, my firstborn kind of learned how to comfort herself, and she just self-regulates by stimming, so she finds the things that are calming her. My secondborn, who can talk, she just still, to this day, will cry, but she's telling me what's happening now, and it's all sensory related. So basically, here I am with both of my babies crying constantly. Now, I think it was sensory processing disorder the whole time. Sometimes I do feel my secondborn, who can tell me what's going on, she is so sensory overstimulated by so many things. She is just a highly sensitive person all around that she doesn't understand at this age what is happening to her. So, of course, we're doing all of the things that we can do to try and regulate her and talk her through it, and to learn how to breathe and use her breath to breathe through the moments that are hard for her. The OT things that we can try to get her regulated. But looking back now at her at this age, it just really feels like the whole time with both of my kids, that's what it was. So that makes me feel like this has got to be the case. And maybe a lot more moms have noticed this, but maybe just didn't think about it. The whole time you thought maybe your baby had colic, and why is my child crying all day long? And you look at all these other moms with babies and their kids are perfectly content. Maybe the whole time, both of my kids had sensory processing disorder, and I just didn't know.